Simulated the T-Rex in modern Africa by Spinosnack. 10 terrifying animals are glad are extinct by top 10. Okay, I'm gonna take a few more bites of mashy taters. Snake! He tried to pee all over me. I have seen the snake that hates Markiplier. I actually tried to show him Markiplier. No reaction. So that's just a tofu thing, apparently. He is so sweet. He's never tried to bite me or anything like that. He's so shy and skittish. But I think that's just kind of typical for milk snakes, apparently, or especially at his age. Am I, like, scaring you with my breath? Yeah, I ordered him off the dark web. Definitely not from some guy in San Isidro. You hold him for long enough and he realizes, oh, you're not going to eat me. Okay, and then he just gets kind of used to it. Well, yeah, there's also the part where we see snakes as, like, being evil, but, you know. They probably just see us as being really fucking scary because we're really big and could kill them easily. Even the most dangerous snakes on the planet, we could kill them so fucking easily. We just die, like, right afterwards, most of the time. Tell me all think he's a cutie. You are so cute. Everyone thinks that you're the cutest little snake in the world. I should probably put this back so we can get back to it. Unfortunately, the setup I have him in is a top opening rather than front opening, so it's very difficult to convince him that I'm not a predator trying to eat him. I apologize for spending 30 minutes just fucking around with my snake on stream. I promised I wouldn't do that. Yeah, there we go. T-Rex in modern Africa, chaos followed. That's just a tracing of the, so yeah, that's the one, Nanotyrannus. The one front-facing one. And everything's like a creepypasta thumbnail. Actually, a lot of these are tracings. I remember this Ceratosaurus picture. I know I've seen that Megalodon picture somewhere. This could honestly just be like a tracing of a screenshot from the Walking with Dinosaurs post-Asukas. You're around on the paleo side of things for long enough, you start to recognize... Yeah, I remember that one. That is the one T-Rex that's like drinking from the water. T-Rex.exe. It does give those vibes. I've never watched this channel either, but I watched the first like 5 seconds of this video and it made me want to beat David Kep to death with my bare hands. This is not Extinct Zoo, this is Spinosnack. And he's got more subscribers than both of my channels combined. But we're gonna see what do. I'm gonna do it.
You crack through the shell, and the first thing you notice is that something is very, very wrong. The air tastes thin.
Okay, problem. David Kep, I hate you so much. David, I shake my fist at you. You are my fucking nemesis, and Cap. So, atmospheric oxygen content, right? Let's start off with a fun one. Let's start off with a really fucking fun one. There have been lots of studies done about atmospheric contents within the Mesozoic, right? A lot of studies suggest that the oxygen content was lower than it is today. Atmospheric oxygen has nothing to do with gigantism. I will stress this again. Atmospheric oxygen contents have nothing to do with gigantism of any kind for any animal. Nope, not even unless you're a bug. Not even unless you're a bug. They did a study on that. And apparently the amount of oxygen content in the Carboniferous had absolutely nothing to do with how big the bugs got. They got big because there just straight up wasn't any like competition on land to fill up their ecological niches. But then they got small because when animals did come up that could like take up those niches, their body construction was so different that the whole square cube law thing that prevents arthropods from getting like, you know, beyond a certain size, that didn't affect those creatures, but it did affect arthropods. So things could get big enough to like tackle arthropods even if they got really big. And it's just like, well, there's nothing we could do now except just like keep our niche as little small guys. And you can tell that atmospheric contents had nothing to do with this because the giant griffin flies still survived into the Permian. Well, after like all the giant forests of whatever the fuck the trees in the Carboniferous were made out of, I assume carbon, after all that died off and we got into the Permian, the giant griffin flies were still around because, guess what? There's no competition. There's no birds, there's no pterosaurs. They are the biggest motherfuckers in the sky. and nothing's going to stop them until the Permian mass extinction happens, and all the weird little reptiles of the Permian and Triassic that are trying out different flight strategies, they're able to actually take off into the sky. Right, underwater arthropod size is also a lot less regulated. That's more determined by things like what lobsters have to deal with today, right? Where the bigger you get, the thicker your exoskeleton gets, and therefore the more difficult it is to molt. That's why lobsters can kind of sort of live forever, but not really, because eventually their exoskeletons will just get so thick that they can't even break through them, and then they just kind of die in the molt. They got big because the biggest things besides them were like big temnospondyls or amphibians, right? Like reptiles were, back in the Carboniferous days, were still really small. Some amphibians got to decent sizes, and like they were able to actually compete with the giant arthropods of the Carboniferous. And then after that happened, then they started to go into decline once those guys got big. It's not that they suffocate to death. It's that when an arthropod molts, it's got to like, it's growing under its skin, and then it needs to like break out of that skin and then harden its new skin. And if you can't break out of that old skin, then you kind of just die. It's just like its own completely different set of problems. And yes, that would be a completely outdated fact. Completely outdated, completely baseless. But I'm going to assume that like partly due to fucking Rebirth. Cause hey, this video is only 2 weeks old. Fucking Rebirth was out there like, God, what was it, last year? Spreading all this garbage about like, oh hey, actually, dinosaurs wouldn't be able to survive in our world today anyway because of the oxygen. That's why they can only survive around the equator, because that's where all the rainforests are. Because that obviously wherever the rainforests are is where all of the oxygen is, right? No, that's not even correct. God, that's not even a little bit correct. As far as I'm aware, oxygen contents around the rainforest are actually lower. Wow, crazy. And again, like, yeah, as Owen just said, most of the oxygen that we get in our atmosphere isn't even from the rainforest, it's from fucking phytoplankton. So basically, 6 seconds into the video, it's wrong. Basically, it's wrong. There's a whole 28 minutes left of this. Let's keep going.
Like you're trying to breathe through a straw, and the sounds are all off. There's no low rumbles of hadrosaurs, no crashing of ferns, just wind through grass that shouldn't.
I mean, there would be low rumbling because elephants communicate through low rumbling. There's sounds that we can't hear, but they can hear just fine. I think they like feel the sounds through their feet, as far as I'm aware. Yeah, elephants communicate through low rumbles, so you'd still hear that. Also, elephants are roughly hadrosaur-sized-ish. Depending on the hadrosaur. Some hadrosaurs are bigger. Sometimes they're bigger, sometimes they're smaller. I don't really know. At the end of the day, they're all just bones in the ground.
Exists yet, distant sound of something that sounds like it's having a medical emergency. Welcome to 2026. You're 66 million years late, and this is going to be a problem. Why? You're about the size of a turkey, maybe 40 pounds.
Why is that a problem? Obama.
If we're being generous, and your brain is screaming at you to find cover because hatchling tyrannosaurs did not survive by
Also, is he saying that a hatchling tyrannosaur is about the size of a turkey? Because that's too big. Fuck it. That is a size overestimate. That is a size overestimate. They would have been smaller than that. Like, I want to say a T-Rex egg is maybe, I don't know if we even have T-Rex eggs actually. It's like that big-ish, I want to say. So a T-Rex chick probably would have been like maybe that big. So like at best I would say like chicken size-ish. I don't know, man.
Standing in open spaces waiting to be noticed. But here's the thing. There is no cover. You're standing in grass, which should not exist.
Cover. Also, grass did exist during the Maastrichtian age of the Mesozoic. It's just like that's pretty much the only part of the Mesozoic where it did actually exist. So yes, T-Rex may have seen grass. As far as I'm aware, grass really started getting its footing in like India, if I'm not mistaken. Also, this is a very crunchy JPEG or sub-Saharan Africa rather. Yeah, so T-Rex could have touched grass. But yeah, like if this were like an Allosaurus or something, then fair enough, it shouldn't have seen grass. And yeah, like tall enough grass could easily hide a juvenile T-Rex. You can hide loads of shit in tall enough grass. You can find that out just by playing Jurassic World Evolution and like filling your park with a bunch of tiny stuff. You can't see it. It's all hidden in the tall grass.
Yet, surrounded by more grass, which also shouldn't exist, and the nearest tree is maybe 400 meters away across completely flat terrain. No ferns, no cicads, no dense
Cicads? Cycads.
forests, just golden grass swaying in the wind that smells like absolutely nothing that your nose recognizes. Your eyes are good. They're some of the best eyes of any predator that ever lived. And what they're telling you right now is that you are deeply, catastrophically visible. Anything within a kilometer can see you, and something does. You hear them before you see them.
Okay, so it's dead. Unless he's going to say that the hyenas were completely uninterested in this unguarded baby tyrannosaur because they're scavengers. Yeah, he's dead.
Weird whooping sound that's high-pitched and wrong. And when you turn, there are 5 spotted hyenas about 200 meters out, moving towards you in that trotting way that looks casual but covers ground fast. Each one weighs around 150 pounds, which means they outweigh you by triple. And they're communicating with each other using vocalizations that sound excited. You are meat. This is them assessing what they're about to do. Your instinct says to climb a tree. This is a good instinct. This is what works, except the nearest tree is 400 meters away, and these hyenas are closing at maybe 50 meters per minute.
I have no idea if baby tyrannosaurs would have climbed trees. Like, this is pure speculation because I think that our material of young tyrannosaurs is very, very limited. I want to say, like, most of the like juvenile Tyrannosaurus specimens that we have are probably in private collections. Obviously, that's just as frustrating as it was when Nanotyrannus was still not a thing. My speculation would be that, like, Tyrannosaurs at this age would be pretty much entirely dependent on the parents. Parents, if not parent, it really just depends. Like, hey, I'll criticize Walking with Dinosaurs 2025 as much as the next guy, but like, the Spinosaurus male taking care of all of his babies, like, yeah, I think that is downright plausible. As opposed to the mother T-Rex just drops its egg in the middle of nowhere and is like, okay, fend for yourself. Have fun. An infant T-Rex, freshly hatched, immediately surrounded by predators, would not survive in sub-Saharan Africa, just at all. Or Northern Africa, for that matter. Just at all. Like, all modern-day archosaurs, all the birds, I mean, with some minor exceptions, but even then, the exception still revolves around, like, parents of another species taking care of the baby. All modern archosaurs take care of their babies to some degree. Crocodilians do it, birds do it. And we have so much fossil evidence of, like, pretty much all fossil evidence that we have of dinosaur nest sites shows them doing the same thing. They all, like, Oviraptors took care of their babies. Maiasaura took care of their babies, right? They all took care of their babies. Leaving out the parent when that's, like, the main thing that would give a T-Rex literally any chance of survival outside of the egg is weird. Let's see what plot armor comes to save this little baby.
So the math says you don't make it.
Yeah,
so you run. You hit maybe 25 kilometers per hour, which is fast for a baby dinosaur, but these hyenas can do 60. And you're learning in real time that the Serengeti is not designed for ambush predators who rely on the forced cover and surprise. You're just a 40-pound target sprinting across a flat plain while 5 pack hunters close the distance.
I have no idea if 25 kilometers an hour is a reasonable speed for a juvenile T-Rex. 60 kilometers per hour sounds fast for a hyena. Fucking... Okay, Wikipedia also says that. I trust Wikipedia more than the AI goop. So yeah, up to 60 kilometers an hour, 37 miles an hour.
The whooping gets louder. One of them is maybe 30 meters behind you now. And then you see the hole. It's a warthog burrow. Just a dark opening in the soil near a termite mound.
Okay, so he's dead. Because that warthog's gonna beat the shit out of him.
You don't think, you just dive. You scramble in head first, claws scraping dirt, and you wedge yourself as far back as the tunnel allows.
Since there's no real simulation, do you have any reason, given his past videos, that this guy isn't just asking ChatGPT to write a story for him? Asking someone who's never watched this guy. I've never watched this guy before either. This is my first time watching him. And, I don't know. The whole thing with this is that, again, it's not an actual simulation. It's basically just like, hey, I wrote this little story of what would happen if a little T-Rex just sort of got plopped in the middle of the Serengeti, and here's what happened. And that kind of just ends up creating sort of the Stan Lee problem of the character who the writer wants to win will end up winning. So it's not a simulation, because in a simulation, the T-Rex juvenile is already dead. It's already dead. It's been ripped to pieces by hyenas. It's dead. They saw it. They were bearing down on it way faster. It's just dead. That's all there is to it. So yeah, it's just like, I need to justify my edgy thumbnail where the T-Rex is looking directly at you, right? And just becomes a ridiculous problem in this ecosystem that it's been randomly introduced to. I don't know. Personally speaking, from a writing perspective, I could do with a bit of tension if I just know that the T-Rex is going to survive literally everything, even when it shouldn't. Personally speaking, these are most of these Spec Evo videos. Cool. So I've been missing out on absolutely nothing by not watching them.
The hyenas arrive within seconds, pacing outside, and one of them sticks its head into the entrance, sniffing. You can see its teeth. It can definitely see you, but the tunnel is narrow and you're jammed in deep. And after maybe 5 minutes of digging at the entrance, they give up. You are not worth the effort. You are not dead. That counts for something. You spend your first night.
Isn't there still a warthog, bro? Isn't there still a warthog around? That's what I'd be concerned about, because I feel like a warthog would probably just, like, number one, be pissed off that something's inside of its burrow, and number two, potentially view you as a meal. As far as I'm aware, they are omnivorous, so you could be a warthog snack, and then he'll be a big pig too. Oi.
Alive in a hole that smells intensely like pig, listening to things moving around outside. And it's here in the dark that you figure out the first rule of modern Africa. Nothing here is designed to help you. The ecosystem does not have a niche for you. There is no ecological role you fit into. You are 66 million years out of date and the world has moved on. Morning comes and you're starving, which makes sense because you haven't eaten since you absorbed the last of your egg yolk maybe 18 hours ago. And you need to figure out food immediately.
Bugs.
Emerge from the burrow carefully, checking for hyenas, and when the coast looks clear, you start moving. Your brain says to hunt small dinosaurs. Maybe a juvenile hadrosaur, something in the 20 to 30 kilogram.
Your brain says to hunt small. Again, I really feel like juvenile tyrannosaurs would have been completely under the care of their parents. There is evidence to suggest that, like, sub-adult tyrannosaurs were hunting by themselves. There is a fossil of a Gorgosaurus that was found that basically choked on a young Oviraptorosaur and died. This is a really weird scenario that you're putting in my head for how a baby T-Rex is supposed to survive in the Maastrichtian, like in the Hell Creek Formation, right? So baby hadrosaurs also would have been taken care of by their parents, as we see in this image here. So you're basically saying that the T-Rex baby needs to go into like a hadrosaur nest, sneak up on one of these babies that's being surrounded by multiple adult dinosaurs, grab it, and run, instead of just like eating small insects or small reptiles, just anything like that, or more likely being fed food by its mother or father. We don't know what kind of parental structure they had. Maybe both, probably both. That would make the most sense. But like, hey, that's just me. That's just me applying, you know, mammalian or human logic to it. It's just like, it would make more sense if both of the parents were there, because that's just like more resources to ensure the baby's survival. But that's not necessarily the thing that a lot of animals do. Sometimes the males just care about impregnating as many females as possible, which is also relatable to a lot of humans. Both is somewhat rare. Usually it's just the mother. Sometimes it is sometimes it's just the father. There are examples of both of these in modern day archosaurs, I want to say. Like, in a lot of crocodilians, it's pretty much just the mother that watches the babies. But in cassowaries and gharials, it's just the dad. A lot of birds are monogamous. So I think that it's very possible that a lot of dinosaurs would have been monogamous as well, because obviously that trait had to come from somewhere. But I don't think we can really say for certain what kind of reproductive strategies these dinosaurs would have had, unless we can, like, it'd be so difficult to determine that just through fossils. How can you tell just through the fossils that this lady has not slept around, that this man has not slept around, that these two are even, like, definitively mates? In the best case scenario, you get the sort of thing where the guy in Pompeii died jacking off, except for like 2 dinosaurs who died in the middle of doing the do. And even then, all that proves is that those animals were mating in that moment. That doesn't prove that they were like a monogamous couple. Tyrannosaurus had mates for life? Again, I think it's possible. I can certainly see that for, you know, the more bird-like dinosaurs that weren't birds. I could totally see something like Wanlong being monogamous. But let's continue.
Range, but there are no hadrosaurs. There are no dinosaurs at all except you. What there is,
Well, also birds.
And you spot.
You know what? No, I'm counting that. There are birds. This thing could totally hunt small birds. It totally could. That would be a valid option. And you know what? It would taste just like T-Rex eating chicken, be like, it tastes just like dinosaur.
It near some rocks about 50 meters away is something that looks vaguely rodent-shaped. It's a ground squirrel, maybe 2 kilograms, and sitting up on its haunches eating seeds. Perfect. You crouch low in the grass, move slowly, using your forward-facing eyes to gauge distance. You get within 15 meters, 10 meters. You're doing great. Then you charge, and you miss completely.
Oh, you suck.
The squirrel doesn't even speed up. It just hops to the left while you sail past, and it goes back to eating seeds while you stand there breathing hard and realize you have no idea how to hunt in open terrain. In Hell Creek, you would have hid behind a tree trunk and wait for prey to come within 3 meters and then explode out and grab it. But that strategy...
You're really acting like just tall grass or cover of any kind straight up does not exist around here. Like tall grass for an animal this small just doesn't act as cover. That's so fucking weird. I really just don't get it at all. Also, maybe it's just me. Just from that sort of description, I'm almost getting some I'm sure to win because my speed is superior vibes from this fucking squirrel and T-Rex interaction. Is this the kind of guy who thinks that a bear could defeat a T-Rex? I don't know. This is my first time I've ever watched one of his videos, but I'm getting some mammalian superiority vibes from this, which is weird because I 100% know this is going to end with like T-Rex being the dominant predator and completely destroying this ecosystem. Like I'm seeing loads of cover around here. Like this looks great. It seems like this T-Rex is just in the worst position possible and not like, oh, there's literally nothing out here in order like for it to hide behind. It just sounds like this T-Rex is fucking stupid.
Does not translate to modern Africa. You try again on a different squirrel 2 hours later. You miss again. This is humbling. You're a Tyrannosaurus Rex. You're supposed to be the most fearsome predator of all time.
That's a Daspletosaurus. That's from Little Das's Hunt. That's an unrelated animal used as B-roll, and I'm counting that.
And 2 squirrels have just beaten you. It takes you until mid-afternoon to figure it out. And what becomes clear is that the only prey you can catch right now are the ones that don't see you coming until it's too late. You find a water hole.
Yeah, that's how all predation works. Yeah.
Muddy depression, maybe 30 meters across, and you watch from 100 meters out. Animals come to drink. Zebras, wildebeest, something that looks like a deer but definitely isn't a deer. And then you see it. A Thompson's gazelle fawn that's maybe 12 kilograms, separated from its mother by about 20 meters while she drinks.
Okay, you are a newborn Tyrannosaurus hatchling that has never successfully hunted anything, even a squirrel. You came from an egg about this big. I'm gonna hunt a gazelle fawn being protected by its mother. This thing's gonna get trampled to death. We're about to see, like, our first gazelle on predator kill in all of nature documentaries.
So you circle wide, staying low, getting downwind. You're 30 meters away, then 20. The fawn hasn't noticed you because it's staring at the water. You close to 10 meters. And then you...
It's just staring at the water? Not even, like, drinking or anything? It's just staring at it? Just,
charge. And this time, there's no miss. You hit it at full speed, jaws closing on its neck. And you feel your bite force crush its spine. The fawn drops instantly.
Okay, you know T-Rex had the bite force when it was, like, an adult, right? Like, I don't know... I agree, this is silly. He's checking out his reflection, Narcissus moment. Congratulations, you killed the world's most narcissistic newborn gazelle. Good job. Goodness gracious. This is very silly. I don't even know, man. This is just like, this is goofy. I genuinely don't even know what, oh god, there's still so much of this left. There's still so much. Like, yeah, it would. I imagine that a newborn baby T-Rex would have a very low bite force, and insects are apparently not even an option. You know, fucking Timon and Pumbaa raised little baby Simba on a bunch of bugs, But apparently T-Rex is just like, no, like I am an apex predator. I have to murder something, even if it is, you know, several times my size, and being protected by its mother, who is even more several times my size. Other Spec Evo videos actually try to educate people before getting into the stupid RP stuff. That's what it feels like. This feels like someone's role play, and that's kind of cringe. That's kind of cringe. Not gonna lie. Yeah, insects don't exist in sub-Saharan Africa. What meerkats will do instead of eating a bunch of bugs and stuff is they'll go around and just try to find like baby warthogs and baby hippopotamuses and just swarm them to death. A mob of meerkats can debone a baby hippopotamus in about 30 minutes or less, or it's free.
You've just killed something, and your brain floods with signals that say eat. So you do. The meat tastes wrong. Not
me when I'm hungry. My brain is flooding with signals that say to eat. Also, this is implying that, like, number one, mammals just straight up didn't exist during the Mesozoic, which obviously they did. And number two, that a Tyrannosaur never would have eaten one, which is also preposterous. There were indeed mammals during the Mesozoic, including in Maastrichtian Hell Creek. Like fucking Didelphodon, right? I imagine especially like juvenile or subadult T-Rexes probably would have found a mammal to be a decent snack. I don't think that the reason that like Tyrannosaurs didn't hunt mammals frequently was because, oh, their meat tastes wrong. This is unnatural. It's because when you get big enough and the biggest mammal is the size of a possum, it's just not worth it. It is worth it when you're like small and something the size of a possum would make a really good meal. Honestly, I think for a newborn T-Rex, the possum wins that fight. But apparently this one's just going around eating newborn gazelles like that's the most ordinary thing in the world. I don't even know it's like eating a single potato chip. It's like eating a single Tic Tac and being like, I probably burned more calories eating that thing than I actually gained from it.
not bad, but just different than what you were expecting. Mammal fat.
How do you expect anything? You were just born. Me when I'm just born. Damn, bro, this titty tastes kind of different than I was expecting. I don't know, man. I was expecting something different. Because, you know, I'm a baby. I have a concept of that sort of thing. I don't just look at titty and think latch. I still think that.
Coats your tongue in a way hadrosaur meat probably would never. And there's a slight musk to it. But hunger is a very good motivator for getting over being a picky eater. You eat maybe 5 kilograms, which is about 12% of your body weight, and then you hear the vultures landing. There are 3 of them. They're these massive
there's some
birds,
dinosaurs.
and they arrived within 30 seconds. You've been here not 18 hours, and you're already learning that in Africa, nothing stays private. Every kill gets an audience. The sun is directly overhead now, and it's hot.
Well, listen, you just killed a baby gazelle, so what's stopping you from murdering all of these vultures, right?
It's maybe 38 degrees Celsius, and you realize very quickly that
Yeah, 5 fucking kilograms would be like, dude, I have no idea how big this fucking T-Rex is supposed to be. I have no idea. He said like turkey sized. That still seems too big. It's big enough to kill a baby gazelle. That's still like, I feel like it's growing just exponentially. By the time this video is done, it's going to be the size of all of Africa itself. Now 40 kilograms up from 40 pounds. Oh my fucking god.
that you do not have sweat glands, which feels like it should be a design flaw, but you've got to deal with it. So you
No sweat glands feels like it should be a design flaw, but you get... Okay, you know how fucking hot it was in Hell Creek, right? Pretty much every analog of Hell Creek ecology says that it would be very close to the modern day Florida Everglades. Do you know how fucking hot the Florida Everglades are? That shit was hot. It was a different kind of heat. It was like a humid heat. So that could be an issue, right? Because like, hey, especially when you're dealing with things like reptiles, then difference in humidity can honestly be the difference between life and death, at least for some of them. Also, we're showing like this little baby being feathered constantly. Would that not act as some kind of heat regulation? I feel like that would be part of their purpose, but whatever. Yeah, sweat glands are like not especially common. They're pretty much only a mammalian thing, and even then, not all animals, in fact, or not all mammals rather, in fact, most mammals don't have them spread basically all across their bodies like we do. Like dogs, for example, right? The reason they pant is because they don't have sweat glands across their entire body. They only have them on like the pads of their feet. So they have to pant in order to like regulate their body temperature. So that's just sort of one of those things where it's like, oh man, us humans, we have it so figured out, dog. We got sweat glands and shit, when the reality is that other animals just have different ways of adapting to things like, you know, high temperatures and stuff like that. Other animals just have their own way, but like we can't, like, for so many people, it's really difficult to empathize with that sort of thing. Or just like rationalize that in their head. Like, why don't you do things the way that we do? Because the way we do things works out just fine. That's the same reason that people just like we talked about this a little bit in Tier Zoo, how he kind of devalues the breeding strategy where you have a shitload of babies and just kind of leave them. It's just like, well, we have one baby and we take really good care of that. So why doesn't everyone just do that? Like, they're just different strategies that work out just fine for these completely different animals that live these completely different lifestyles. Like, hey, African wild dogs live in this sub-Saharan Africa heat in the Serengeti, and they don't have sweat glands across most of their body, just on the pads of their feet. And they do great. They're really great hunters. They're long distance runners. They're like pursuit predators. They're great. They don't need the sweat glands. They do just fine.
Start panting with your mouth open. It's undignified, but it's better than over.
Why don't bugs just lay one egg? Are they stupid?
Yeah, why don't bugs just lay one egg and live in a monogamous relationship and live for like 80 years? What's the deal with that? Why are bugs stupid?
Overheating. You drag what's left of the fawn towards a lone acacia tree, maybe 50 meters away, settling in the shade underneath it.
And then it gets pounced on by a leopard and dies.
There's a bird there already. Some kind of large ground hornbill.
And then it pecks you to death and you die. Ground hornbills are big-ass animals, and they would absolutely take advantage of a baby tyrannosaur. Also, yeah, did he say it was undignified? Like, bro, it's the same fucking... Like, I made that as a joke in the fucking Tier Zoo video where it's just like, oh man, this isn't my kill, this isn't honorable.
It just stares at you. You stare back.
Brick Squad _EMS donated $10. Is sludge consumption known to cause cancer or birth defects in the state of California?
Yes, absolutely. And also my sperm have completely lost all their motility. It's just gone. It's just, I've been rendered completely infertile by sludge.
Apparently you're not that scary yet, because this bird doesn't give a shit about you. It just stares you right in the eyes. The afternoon drags.
Yeah, ground hornbills are, those guys are like predators, by the way. It would probably chase you off of your meal or try to kill you. It's really weird that he's just like, yeah, there's a ground hornbill there. It doesn't do anything. It just doesn't care about you. It doesn't fear you yet. That's the problem here. Not that it's an actual threat to you. It just doesn't fear you yet. It should, though. It should. Yeah, ground hornbills are kind of like modern day Azhdarchids, just on a super small scale compared to, like, you know, being giraffe height. I want to say ground hornbills are like about maybe up to like your thigh, somewhere between like the knee and the thigh in terms of height, right? And they're just out here like looking around for smaller, like shit that's smaller than them on the ground, little rodents and stuff like that, which, hey, would have been perfectly fine for a juvenile T-Rex to eat, but whatever.
On, and the pattern emerges about the heat. It pins you down. You can't move, you can't hunt, you can't do anything except lie in shade and breathe. This is new. In Hell Creek, it was humid, but there was water everywhere and tree cover. Here, the sun is literally a weapon. You're going to have to hunt at dawn and dusk, or you're going to cook. Around 4 p.m., you hear something that makes you lift your head. They're these low sounds. They're almost subsonic. And then you see them about 100 meters away. 6 lions, 4 females, 2 males. They're staring at you. You stand up. And at 40 pounds, you were very aware that you are not intimidating. The lions seem confused. One of them takes a few steps forward. They're testing. You hiss, which is all you've got. The lions stop. They look at each other, and then the big male makes a decision, and they all turn and walk away.
Why? Okay, that's... I feel like we're playing up the thing where some animals can kind of bluff their way into surviving encounters they shouldn't. Yeah, he just rolled his nat 20 intimidation check. Like honey badgers are the like most famous example of this, right? Where they will just mock charge and they'll bluff at animals, and even things like leopards and lions, They'll just back off and not want to bother with it. The thing is, right, if a fucking lion is really that hungry, it's still gonna it's gonna kill the honey badger. It's gonna do it.
I don't know what's happening and it's already unbearable. Is this some sort of furry roleplay?
I genuinely wouldn't be surprised if that's where this all like stemmed from. It feels so roleplay-ish. It's weird. The thing with honey badgers is that even though they will lose the fight, like pretty much every single time against a lion or a leopard, the bluff is like, I could take out an eye or like really like bite the hell out of you and scar you up if you try it. It's sort of like I mentioned this when I had the snake out earlier. Like, we as humans will win a fight against a snake, any snake, literally every time. Even a venomous snake. We will win that fight. We'll just die afterwards if we do. We'll just die if we like decide I'm gonna fucking kill that black mamba with my bare hands. You could do it super easily. You could do it super fucking easily. You're just gonna die afterwards. You will. You will absolutely die.
A bottle of sludge makes the workday more tolerable.
At least it does that for you. Not so much for me. Yeah, the badger's like, you can eat me, but I'll make you wish that you hadn't tried. Like, a honey badger could totally put a lion into a position, or a leopard or anything like that, where it's suffering from a serious injury. It has like, it's missing an eye. It could get an infection, anything like that. That a lion might not have to deal with from taking, you know, something that it normally takes down, like a wildebeest or something like that, right? Or at the very least, right? Even if it's taking something that has more risk associated with it, like a big African buffalo, like a big Cape buffalo, then if it does kill that Cape buffalo, it doesn't have to hunt again for fucking days. So it's good to go. If you spent all that effort killing a honey badger, then you eat for like a fucking day at best, maybe. You'll top yourself off, right? But when conditions are bad enough that that honey badger's starting to look real tasty, then yeah, lion's gonna go for it.
Sonic.x2 is a better story than this sludge.
Let's not say things we can't take back. We don't know how bad the situation is for these lions. Maybe they're totally fine. Maybe they actually would appreciate a meal. This bluff would not work on lions. I'm sorry, it just wouldn't. Especially not like one little hiss. Like, no mock charges, no anything. It's just like... It's just like... It would be like that one scene in The Lion King, right? Where little baby Simba just roars at the hyenas and they're just like, do that again. Do that again. That was fucking hilarious. And then he actually roars. And then the big fucking T-Rex mother that's supposed to be there comes out and kills all the lions. That's what should be happening. But I guess this baby T-Rex was an immaculate conception from the fucking universe itself.
You have been assessed and found to be too weird to be worth the trouble.
Too
You're
weird.
not scary. You're not prey. You're just confusing. They've never seen you before. But this is something you can work with until you reach your full size. Over the next 3 months, you grow at a rate that would be medical.
You're just too weird to hunt. You're too weird to hunt. Do you know what cats are, dude? Cats will see anything weird that don't know what it is, and you know what they'll do? They'll fucking play around with it. They'll just like, boop. They'll just be like... Like, dude, you'd be having to deal with that, especially from like the juveniles if they were there. They just be like, what the fuck is this thing? And then as soon as they do that, they don't see, oh, this thing isn't a threat, then they'll just eat you. Yeah, that's why lions don't hunt okapis, because they're too weird. I mean, like, from their perspective, you'd probably just look like a weird little bird. If anything, you'd be in like danger of being hunted by like a caracal or a serval or something like that. The lions would be an afterthought. I'm gonna be real. You would be serval food, 100%, if you're a baby tyrannosaur.
Concerning if you were a mammal, but tyrannosaurs mature fast.
Also, I would like to point out that he wasn't too weird for the hyenas to hunt, but he was too weird for the lions to hunt. Do lions just have different standards? Is that what's going on here? Right, there's only 2 predators on the Serengeti. There's lions and hyenas. Yeah, painted dogs would be a huge concern. But again, like, even just the fact that this is so similar in like size and morphology to like ground-dwelling birds, that would so make me think that a caracal or a serval would be just like the #1 threat for this sort of thing. Especially because like those guys are really good at hunting. Like, I want to say servals have among the highest, like, hunt to kill ratio of any of the wild cats. Oh yeah, snakes would also be a concern. There's loads of different kinds of venomous snakes in Africa. There's like different kinds of cobras and vipers and stuff like that. Like, honestly, at this age, a juvenile T-Rex would be so fucking vulnerable to just any of the many dangers. And it's just like, this motherfucker's going up against the whole, oh yeah, and big ass monitor lizards. There's like fucking black throat monitors out there. They don't care how weird you are. They don't care how much they hiss at you. That's gonna charge straight at you and just swallow you whole. Yeah, not to mention he's gotta deal with crocodiles. Like, God, Nile crocodiles are just fucking everywhere. Anytime you go to take a drink, you're taking a gamble. You are taking a gamble with your life. You are one T-Rex. 100%. But he's just going up against a pack of hyenas and a pride of lions, and he jogs a little and hisses, and he's totally fine. He's fine. But fuck it, right?
Because they had to in a world full of things trying to eat them. By month 3, you're about 150 pounds, roughly the size of a small adult human, and your appetite is obscene. You need 15 to 20 pounds of meat per week, and the math is simple.
You need to eat 1 Eric Cartman per week.
You are always hunting, or you're always hungry. You get better at the waterhole ambush strategy. You take down a young warthog, which is ugly, but it's effective. And something clicks to you.
Ugly, but it's effective? Do you mean the hunting strategy or the food? What did you mean by this? Do you mean both? I think you mean both.
About which animals run fast and which ones just think that they could run fast. Zebra run
What?
fast. Warthog do not run fast.
Yes, they do! What the fuck? Warthogs are very fast! Warthogs are fast and they're mean. What is this anti-warthog propaganda? What? I am surprised that this cocky ass fucking T-Rex hasn't been gored by a warthog tusk. These things are fast. They're very fast.
He has better plot armor than Rey Skywalker.
I completely agree. Like, what the fuck? Like, he's saying that this thing's about the size of an adult human right now, right? Or a small human? I don't know. A small adult human. Fuck it, I don't care. Dude, I would not fight a warthog. I wouldn't fight a warthog, right? I'm like 180 pounds. Like, basically none of that is muscle because I sit around doing this all day. But I would not fight a warthog. I would lose that fight. We're just kind of completely glossing over the fact that these baby animals that this T-Rex is killing should be being protected by their parents. They're just kind of not. It's really weird.
Warthog kind of fat. Warthog easy prey. Yum bacon. And you recognize the vulture flight patterns.
Okay, so apparently warthogs are just the garbage shitters of the Serengeti. Like, can we go back to... First of all... Where did you get this? Where did you find this? Where did... Dobson, is that you? Did you come back after all? This is some DeviantArt shit. Yeah, that is not from the movie. That is some MS Paint shit. I like how the face is done in MS Paint and it's like weirdly detailed. It's weirdly on model. And then when it comes to this, it's just like, I tried. I certainly tried. But like, does that look fat to you? Does that look fat? That doesn't look like a very corpulent hog to me. They used to call me the corpulent hog back in high school. Oh. Here come those lions. Okay, those are some stock sound effects. Look at them go!
Lions and warthogs can reach speeds of up to 35 miles per hour.
Look at them booking it!
Keep it up over a short distance, whereas warthogs have the stamina to keep on.
Look at them go! Absolutely outmaneuvering this lioness. She's already getting tired. She's already falling behind. Ah. And
If
she
they
gives
want
up.
a decent meal, the young lions must learn to bring down larger prey.
Warthogs are fast. Like, seriously, you don't underestimate them. They're fast and they're mean. Anyways, that was...
Do not run fast. Warthog kind of fat. Warthog, easy prey. Yum yum bacon. And you
Yeah,
recognize
easy
that
prey for this juvenile Tyrannosaurus the size of a man, while this entire pride of lions couldn't bring down one.
the vulture flight patterns, because where there are vultures, there's either a fresh kill or something dying, and both are useful to you. And then on day 97, you learn about leopards. It's night.
It took you 97 days to learn about leopards? Dude, considering your first fucking day involved a pack of hyenas and a pride of lions, I would assume you would have learned about leopards real damn fast.
Sleeping in the tall grass near a waterhole, full from an impala kill, when something lands on your back and its claws sink into your shoulders and you buck hard, spinning.
Oh, you're dead then. You're about the size of a man and you've been ambushed by a leopard, you're dead. You are dead. Also, apparently this leopard doesn't seem to think that you're too weird to eat. How crazy! He's dead. He's been ambushed by he's dead. Do you know how fucking strong leopards are?
You catch a glimpse of spotted fur and green eyes before it jumps off. It's a leopard at maybe 80 kilograms, nearly your size. It came out of a tree. You didn't even know it was there, so you spin and lunge with your jaws snapping, but you miss. It rakes your left flank with its claws, 3 deep cuts, and then it's gone into the darkness. The
Why
whole
didn't it
thing
kill
took
you?
Maybe 5 seconds. You're bleeding. 3 deep cuts are across your left flank. They're maybe 4 inches each, and they burn in a way that tells you the claws were not clean. Over the next 2 days, the wounds crust over and start to scar, pulling tight when you move, and you develop a habit of favoring your right side when you walk. The scars will stay with you. They're going to be permanent lessons about checking trees before you sleep.
Why didn't it kill you? Why didn't it kill you? It ambushed you. It did the thing that leopards do. Why didn't it kill you? Yeah, because it's the Stan Lee thing. Whoever the rider wants to win will win.
But you heal. The pain fades to a dull ache, and by day 6 of resting, you're hunting again, slower and more carefully. You've been given a warning. Everything here can kill you, and some of it kills
Except for the stuff that can't kill you, like the ground storks that just don't see you as a food source for some reason.
you from places that you can't see coming. The dry season arrives in month 5, and the water holes start shrinking.
I thought that was spackle for a second.
Herds migrate west towards permanent water, and you follow because you have no choice. You cover 30 kilometers in 3 days, walking
Just
most
a
of
warning
it.
shot.
It's exhausting, but doable at your current size. You're now roughly 300 pounds, maybe 6 months old, and you're still growing at a rate that seems biologically unreasonable. You're no longer prey, but you're not quite predator yet either. You're in between.
You're what? Huh?
Unreasonable. You're no longer prey, but you're not quite predator yet either.
What do you think the hunting has been? What do you think the hunting has been doing? Is that not predation? Yeah, does he think that the predator has to be at the very top of the food chain in order to be a predator at all? Predator. Fits in the palm of my hand. Predator. All it has to do is eat stuff that's like another animal. That's a predator. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. That's a nonsense statement. Meaningless statement. We're gonna have some Jurassic Park images used. I know we have. There was like the baby T-Rex mock-up. Or maquette, rather. It's not really the kind of video that we usually see, so it's like, there's not a list. Fuck, I'll even say misleading video title. Because this is not a simulation. This is roleplay. Scary, dangerous creatures, harmless. You know what? Let's cross that one off, too. A baby T-Rex, an infant T-Rex, a newborn T-Rex could not kill a baby gazelle. It just couldn't. I'm sorry. This also counts as overhyping. Oh, you're okay. And you know what? I'll even say mixed up measurements. Because he mixed up 40 pounds with 40 kilograms at one point. You're going to jump. You're a leaping lizard. There it is. Yeah, I guess that counts as a T-Rex comparison. And pack hunting. Because there was a pack of hyenas. That counts. Don't jump into my mashed potatoes. Don't jump into my mashed potatoes. You're right. I need to feed Dimitri a baby gazelle.
You're in between. You realize where water is, which animals run, which ones fight, how to avoid the midday heat, but everything still feels slightly wrong. The air, the food.
Dude, you would have no concept of this. You are an animal. You would have no fucking concept of what feels right and wrong. That's so anthropomorphized, which is so frustrating. And also, I'm going to count that as repeating yourself. Even though it's not AI, you're repeating yourself an awful lot about, this is wrong. It's wrong, man.
The landscape, but this is your life now. And what you don't know is that it's going to get much, much harder.
Your life now, as though this hasn't been your entire life, as far as you're aware. If I kidnapped a baby from Scandinavia and just dropped it in the middle of Africa, it wouldn't be thinking like, this is wrong. Something about this ain't
Even
right.
if he knows the concept, this is literally all he knew. How would he know it feels wrong?
I have no fucking idea. It's so patently ridiculous as a concept. Like again, even in that human situation, that little Scandinavian baby wouldn't be able to think like, something's wrong here. Where are all the white women at? Where are all the white women at? That baby's not gonna be thinking that. It's gonna be thinking, I need a titty. Help me, give me titty.
From here, you hit 1,000 kilograms at around 2 years old, and things start to shift in your favor, because at half a ton, you are officially larger than any land predator that currently exists. Your bite force is now somewhere around 8,000 pounds.
Well, it's a good thing that you've completely managed to avoid Nile crocodiles this entire time.
Your jaws can crush bone without thinking about it, and when you walk past a group of
Your jaws have been crushing bone without thinking about it since as a newborn, not even a day old, you fucking crushed the neck of a baby gazelle.
lions, they don't just avoid you. They actively leave the area. Things are shifting. The problem
That sounded like an AI thing. It's just they don't just run from you. They actively avoid you. It's like, fuck off.
is that your brain still thinks in Cretaceous terms. So when you see a herd of elephants drinking at a waterhole, your first thought is large herbivore equals food. And you approach them with the confidence of an animal that hasn't been seriously challenged in 6 months. The matriarch spots you at about 70 meters out, and she turns to face you.
It's just, that's a large animal that must mean it's food. I mean, hell, you've been killing things that are several times your own size since you were literally less than a day old. So fuck it, right? Go kill an entire herd of elephants. Fuck it, right? That definitely wouldn't be the thing that, like, a full-grown T-Rex would do.
And you keep walking because you weigh 1,000 kilograms, and you've spent the last year learning that everything runs from you. But she doesn't run. She mock charges, which is when an elephant does a short, aggressive rush to test if you're a real threat. And you hold your ground because you genuinely don't understand what's happening. So she commits.
This is so fucking frustrating to watch, dude. It's just like it's so inconsistent. Things only matter when the writer wants them to matter. Just animals only understand things when they're implicitly able to understand them. Only sometimes. This T-Rex understands that the not meaningfully different air is wrong. It understands that this meat tastes wrong, but it doesn't understand that this animal that is aggressing on it is like trying to intimidate it, when it should have understood that as a concept from, again, the literal moment it's born, when it's being fucking just chased by a pack of hyenas.
Into a full charge.
Is that elephant AI?
4,000 kilograms of protective rage moving at 25 kilometers per hour directly towards your face. And this is the important moment that you figure out that elephants are not hadrosaurs. They don't scatter when a...
No, they probably would have been closer to ceratopsians, because number one, Triceratops is about roughly the same size as a modern day elephant in terms of mass. And also they got the big pointy things that stick out of their face. I don't know why he's acting like hadrosaurs are the only thing T-Rex ever hunted. Like, if we're going by all this shit, where T-Rex implicitly knows what hadrosaurs are, even though he's never seen them before in his life, then he should be thinking, oh, these aren't like hadrosaurs, these are like Triceratops. Oh.
predator shows up, they coordinate, and they fight back. You then bolt. Survival instinct overrides your pride.
Oh, so you do know what a mock charge is, you fucking stupid bird?
Stops after 20 meters, trumpets once, and walks back to her herd. Well, that was a lesson you had to learn the hard way. What you take from this is that
the hard way? You didn't even get hurt. You took a minor blow to your ego that you have as a Tyrannosaurus Rex. It's just roleplay. It's just roleplay. God! People must fucking love this shit. People must really genuinely, like, love this shit, like, on a conceptual level, because I do not. I really just don't. I am not jiving with this at all.
Tusks pointed forward. They're intelligent enough to work together, and they will absolutely call your bluff if you come at them wrong. You're going to need a new strategy, and that strategy is going to be target the young, target the isolated, or don't mess with the elephants. Are you going to learn? Well, we'll see. 2 weeks later, you're tracking a young Cape buffalo. It's maybe 500 kilograms. That's wandered about 200 meters from its herd near a riverbank. It's early morning, the light is still gray, and you've been following it downwind for the last 30 minutes. The buffalo stops to drink. Its head's down, and you close from 40 meters out, accelerating to maybe 30 kilometers per hour. You hit it from the side, and your jaws lock onto its spine just behind the shoulders, and your bite force severs the spinal cord in one motion. The whole thing takes 10 seconds. You've just killed something that weighs half of what you would do, and it didn't even have time to call for help. Within 5 minutes, there are 15 hyenas circling at 50 meters. Within 10 minutes, there are 40 vultures overhead. In Africa, as you know, nothing stays private. So you feed, ripping through hide and muscle and swallowing chunks whole the way your jaw is designed to. You put away maybe 80 kilograms before you're full. One hyena tries to dart in for scraps while you're eating, and you lunge at it. You don't even bite, but just the movement is enough. It retreats. Nobody else tries. When you're done, you move 200 meters to about...
I'm gonna be real. Like, the editing here is not helping. It's not helping this whole scenario here, because, like, I feel like if the presentation was really, really good, then that could at least offset some of the more mediocre writing. But it's like, this is editing that I kind of do as, like, a bit. Like, this is not too dissimilar from how I edited, like, the PNGs of the goons that were fucking around with the PNG of an Archelon in my Park Builder series. Yeah, it's a clip show and PowerPoint slides with, like, memes interspersed throughout, which is just, like, I don't like it. I don't like the presentation. Not even a little bit. Yeah, we still haven't seen one single crocodile. This T-Rex is mostly hunting around water holes, but we haven't seen a single crocodile this entire time. Bad editing to the bingo? Dude, that would be, like, the new free space. The sludge videos are always edited so badly. Haven't seen a single Nile crocodile.
Baobab tree for shade, and you collapse because digesting 80 kilograms of meat takes energy. The hyenas immediately swarm the carcass after you left. You watch them fight over what's left, but you don't care. You're full. The hierarchy of the savannah is simple now. You eat first, everyone else waits. But dominance has a cost nobody mentions, which is that every animal in a 200 square kilometer radius now knows what you are and where you hunt. Prey species start avoiding water holes when they smell your scent, even if you're not there. They'd rather risk dehydration than risk you.
Animals would rather risk dehydration than risk a T-Rex. Okay. He doesn't know that crocodiles exist. He doesn't. He straight up does not know that crocodiles exist. Okay. You know that every year, migratory ungulates will cross rivers filled with crocodiles. Filled to bursting with giant Nile crocodiles that just kill so many of these ungulates. They kill so many of them every single year, but they still do it. They still do it. Loads of wildebeest, loads of zebras, all crossing these rivers, and they are getting slaughtered by crocodiles. They still do it because they need to cross this river in order to, like, eat. So if they'll take their chances doing all that shit against crocodiles, I think they will take a drink and risk one of their guys getting eaten by a T-Rex. Call me crazy. Yeah, why do the salmon go upriver if they know that the bears are there? Are they stupid? I mean, salmon are probably pretty stupid. Yeah, we haven't seen hippos, we haven't seen crocs. Like, the crocodile thing is such a it's so noticeable as something that should be there but isn't. It's so weird.
Herds post sentries that watch for your shape on the horizon.
Oh my god, the animals literally need to invent the concept of, like, a sentry, like a lookout, just because there's a T-Rex here. Never mind the fact that they already have other stuff that hunts them. Now it's totally different because it's a fucking T-Rex.
Elephants coordinate. When one herd spots you, they make low-frequency rumbles that other herds can hear from kilometers away. And suddenly, every elephant within range knows where you are. You're not just the apex predator. You're the apex problem. And
that's such a fucking AI line. That's such a fucking AI line, dude. Man, I can read that on ChatGPT right the fuck now.
Ecosystem is adapting around you. 3 days later, you smell blood from 2 kilometers away, which is normal because your nose is genuinely absurd in how good it is. And when you track it down, you find a lion pride feeding on a zebra.
Oh my god, don't tell me. No. We're doing the thing. We're doing the thing. Oh, it's like I'm right there watching Valley of the T-Rex. As the smaller, smarter pack hunters have taken down a carcass, now here comes the T-Rex to bully them away from it, using its size as its sole advantage because it sucks too much shit at hunting by itself now that it's too big.
It's 6 adult lions just starting their meal. You walk directly towards them, they see you coming, and they scatter. There's no hesitation, no posturing, they're just gone, and you take the zebra. And this is when you realize you've just discovered the easiest possible way to eat, which is let other animals do the hunting and then just walk up and take what they killed. You are one of the most terrifying things.
Apparently, it's because, again, none of these animals have figured out the whole lookout strategy for lions. This is so bad. I didn't know it was going to be this bad, right? Like, I thought it was going to be, like, maybe attempting to be a little bit scientific, like, present some facts or something. Just anything, right? I think the most we've gotten in terms of, like, anything even remotely scientific is that Hell Creek was humid. How much longer is this? We're already halfway there! Oh my god! Fucking hell, dude.
As they have ever seen. Why not use your ugly, horrifying, terrible looks to your advantage? Lions are skilled hunters. Hyenas are efficient killers. And
okay, I thought he was going to say that the hyenas were scavengers. So, good on you. That's at least a fact. Good. I'll take that. I'll take that you actually mentioned that hyenas are good at killing. I would love to see a painted dog in this video, but what the fuck ever.
You can just walk up and claim their work. You prefer to think of it as a tax system, but the lions do not appreciate this arrangement.
Oh no.
The lions also cannot do anything about it.
I was gonna say, like, are the lions gonna start a fucking uprising? They're gonna start fucking unionizing? What's gonna happen here?
Just like modern taxes, the big guy in power always eats first. You try to hunt a giraffe a week later and it goes badly. The setup is perfect. You're 30 meters away in tall grass. You're totally down.
How fucking big is this T-Rex again? Cause, also that giraffe looks AI generated. I'm gonna say it's the weird lighting. The lighting makes it look like AI.
Downwind, and when you charge, the giraffe sees you at 20 meters and runs. So you chase. The giraffe then hits 50 kilometers per hour. You max out at maybe 35 for a short burst. After 100 meters, you give up because you're winded, and that oxygen thing is still a factor that
No, it's fucking not! Anyway.
doesn't really help you out here. And the giraffe is already 300 meters away. So that's a limit that you didn't know you had. Speed. In Hell Creek, you ambush from 10 meters in dense forest. Here, prey can spot you from 500 meters and just leave. So you need to adjust your expectations.
I like that the T-Rex at no point is just like, clearly the Serengeti is not working out for me. I should like move to a more forested area. Because clearly the T-Rex is highly intelligent, right? It's highly intelligent. It recognizes, like, it can determine a lot of this shit. It should be like, you know what? This Serengeti is wrong. So I'm going to move to a more forested area. Go hunt some, like, African forest elephants or something. Or some okapis. Yeah, it's smart enough to tax lions, not smart enough to go live by a forest.
But then a white rhino bull at a waterhole gives you a different kind of problem, which is that it weighs 2,500 kilograms with a forward-facing horn, and when it smells you, it charges reflexively because rhinos have terrible eyesight.
No, they don't! Rhinos have just fine eyesight. God fucking damn it. They've done tests on this. They've done studies on this. Rhinos have fine eyesight. God damn it. God fucking damn it. who do we have to blame for this one? Is this another Tirzu? Do you have to blame Tirzu for this one too?
And honestly, worse judgment. You sidestep it because you're more agile than it expects.
He simply parry the rhinoceros.
And as it passes, you bite down hard on its hindquarters. Yes, you bite its butt. The bite crushes the bone, severs muscle, and cuts through the femoral artery. The rhino goes down in 30 seconds from blood loss and shock. But here's what's happened during those 30 seconds. The rhino spun while falling. Its horn grazed your left thigh, opening a shallow cut maybe 6 inches long. It's not deep, it's barely bleeding, and you don't even think about it at first. Then the flies arrive. Within an hour,
the flies arrive as he shows flamingos. Those are not flies. Those are flamingos. That is just the fucking anime image of like the guy looking at the butterfly going like, is this a pigeon? Also, you got gored by a leopard earlier, and I guess you just didn't have to deal with flies back then? Do they fly? They fly now.
There are dozens swarming the wound, and they stay. For the next week, every time you try to ambush prey, the cloud of flies gives you away before you get within 50 meters.
Are you fucking kidding me? He's like fucking Ed from Ed, Edd n Eddy. He just has like a fucking cloud of flies around him at all times. He has an aura of stank that prevents him from hunting. Oh my god. And again, apparently flies just didn't exist in the Cretaceous. This never would have been a problem if he got like scratched by a Triceratops horn. Lions don't have to deal with this problem, apparently. Fuck it. I'm losing my shit. I'm losing my fucking mind. This is insane. Uh-oh, stinky. Poop. Hey, you, somebody open a window in here. This is nonsense. I'm so sorry, but this is absolute nonsense.
Animals can see the swarm from hundreds of meters out, and they bolt before you're in range, and your success rate drops to almost nothing. You try covering the wound with mud, which works for maybe an hour before the flies find it again. You try hunting at night when the flies are less active, but nocturnal prey is skittish and you're still learning how to navigate in low light. By day 6, you're starving, having burned through your fat reserves chasing animals you can't catch because they smell the wound or see the flies, or both.
Haven't you been doing the scavenging thing? Did you just like stop that because it's not honorable or whatever?
On day 7, you get lucky. You find a water buffalo stuck in mud near a drying water hole, exhausted from trying to pull itself free. It can't run. You can barely walk, and both of you are in bad shape, but you're the one with the teeth, so you win. The meal buys you another week while the wound finally closes and the flies lose interest. And that's when something clicks. Survival here isn't just about being strong. It's about not having weaknesses that environment can exploit.
Huh? It's not about being strong. It's about not being weak. Huh? I don't understand. I really don't. What are you saying? This is a nonsense script. I could see why you had to go to YouTube instead of just like staying on a fucking RP forum or something, cause yeesh. 100%. Like, oh God. I hate accusing people of this without knowing it. God damn it, dude. This really feels like an AI script, or at least like AI enhanced, right? I feel like he took a first draft of a script and then like plugged it into AI and then like added some kind of jokes in there with like the stinky fat pigs and the vine booms and shit. Like all that sort of thing. Just in post. Personally speaking, oh my God, it's been 2 hours is the only video we've watched. I hate this so much.
And everything here is looking for exploits. The problem is that you're weak. You're slow, and hunting in this condition is almost impossible. But starvation is not optional. So you wait. For 2 days, you stay near a waterhole watching animals come and go, looking for anything vulnerable. And then you see it. A giraffe, maybe 900 kilograms, limping badly on its front left leg.
Man, how lucky. You found the fucking water buff, or the Cape Buffalo that was like afflicted by the slowness status condition, and now a giraffe that is suffering from its bleed debuff.
Probably got kicked by another giraffe or stepped wrong, but it's struggling and it's alone. And when it lowers its head to drink, spreading its front legs wide in that awkward giraffe crouch, you move. You're 40 meters away when you start, and you're slow, maybe 15 kilometers per hour at most right now. But the giraffe is hurt and it can't accelerate fast, so you close the distance with your jaws clamping onto its neck from the side. And your weight plus the bite force brings it down. The giraffe tries to kick, but the angle is wrong, and your jaws are already crushing through vertebrae.
Hooray.
It's over in 30 seconds. You've secured maybe 400 kilograms of meat from an animal that couldn't run. It wasn't proud, it wasn't strategic, it was just a desperate move.
It wasn't strategic as you go for it while it's drinking. Like, what do you mean it wasn't proud? T-Rex doesn't care. He's hungry. Damn, bro. I didn't harvest and mash these potatoes myself. I don't care. I'm hungry.
Lucky. You feed heavily over the next week and then rest. Within 10 days, you've regained most of the lost weight. You've survived another close call, and you're starting to notice a pattern where the threats that nearly kill you aren't the ones that you can bite back at. They're the ones you can't even see coming. 18 months pass.
Wait, the ones you can't even see coming, like a rhino charging at you? I mean, granted, I didn't see coming that the issue that arose from that would be like, you know, I thought it would be some kind of infection or something like that, but no, it's the Aura of Stank debuff. That's what I should have seen coming. So really, I don't blame the T-Rex for not being able to see that coming.
You hunt, you steal kills, you figure out the seasonal patterns of prey migration.
That's an
You
Allosaurus.
survive a dry season by staying near permanent water where buffalo and elephants congregate. You
Also
survive a wet
crocodiles.
season by following
And
wildebeest
hippos.
herds north. You grow. By the time that you're 4 years old, you weigh 7,500 kilograms. That's roughly 8.3 tons. You're 12 meters long, 4 meters tall at the hip, and you are the largest predator in Africa by a factor of 50.
Okay. The biggest, I don't care. Biggest ever, whatever. Not a false accusation to say this is AI. I don't know, man. I'm hesitant about that sort of thing. I never like jumping to conclusions unless I can like definitively prove it. Like with the Forrest Galante thing, it couldn't have been more obvious that the script was AI, and also he was using AI images like for fucking everything. Yeah, 8 tons in 4 years. That seems like way too fast of a growth rate. Like I don't doubt that T-Rex would have had to have grown relatively quickly, but fucking hell, dude, that seems way too fast. That seems way too damn fast. Like, that's basically fully adult size within the span of, like, 4 years. That seems absurd to me.
Lions avoid you, hyenas wait for you, and elephants now alter their routes when they know you're in an area. You have changed the behavior of thousands of animals simply by just existing. Nothing hunts you. You hunt everything. You've reached the top. But there are no others. There are no other tyrannosaurs, no pack, no mate. You are the only...
Yeah, you kind of just, like, spawned into existence, which is really weird. How did that happen?
Only one of your kind in 66 million years to walk under this sun. And something about that is exhausting in a way that has nothing to do with food or
The T-Rex is having a fucking existential crisis. Either that, or he's really horny.
territory. You've won a game nobody else is playing, and now you get to just keep playing it alone. And what...
Aren't juvenile tyrannosaurs a missing piece? Yes, but as far as I'm aware, we can kind of tell how old some of the biggest tyrannosaurs were when they died. Let me see. Close examination of the bones revealed that Sue was 27 to 33 years old at the time of death, making it the oldest known T-Rex specimen currently published. So he was saying that this T-Rex is like 12 meters long. Yeah, okay. So a 33-year-old T-Rex is apparently the same size as a 4-year-old one. That is absurd. That is insane. That is insanity. Any other ones with Wikipedia pages? Nah, stands too big. I want like a sort of mid-sized one. Okay, unearth the remains of what is believed to be a 4-year-old Tyrannosaurus Rex. Okay, so the femur would be about 25 inches on that one. Okay, so if that's the case, do we have like a size estimate of Sue's femur? We'll see if we can math this out, right? Sue T-Rex femur length. I don't think this is correct because it's citing what I'm pretty sure is the Goliath specimen. So 137 centimeter femur length. So that is, okay, about 53 inches. So we can, like, just by femur length alone, we can assume that a 4-year-old T-Rex would be about half the size of Sue. So probably more like 6 meters, which still a big animal, but that is a full-size T-Rex that he's saying is 4 years old. Hi, Gru.
What you don't realize is that being alone is about to be your downfall. It's been
Oh,
6
no.
months of absolute dominance, and the ecosystem starts adjusting to you, which is not
You
great
already
news
said
because
that.
adaptation is a two-way street, and you're the only one on your side. Elephant herds have now started traveling at night more often, which cuts into your hunting window because even with good vision, you still need some light to hunt effectively. Lions shift their patterns too, taking kills in areas that you don't go to, and when you do show up, they've already eaten most of the good parts. Buffalo.
I like how we couldn't come up with an excuse for the lions. It's like, they just go where you don't go. And then when you do go there, they're already done. The lions need to have, like, precognition in order to outwit the T-Rex, apparently. The T-Rex struggles when it is convenient for the narrative for the T-Rex to struggle. And the T-Rex utterly dominates and gets lucky breaks and the second wins whenever it's also convenient for the story. Whatever gets this to be like 30 fucking minutes long.
Herds post their sentries, and they rotate their watches for threats while the others graze.
Those are
they
bison.
flee at distances that make chasing them pointless. What worked 6 months ago, the waterhole ambush strategy, now fails 70% of the time because animals approach water more carefully. They send
We already went through this. We already did the thing where it's just like, oh man, the waterhole thing isn't working anymore. Like, fuck, dude, this is so repetitive.
scouts first. They've adapted, and you're forced to
They adapted the last time you said this. Fuck me, dude.
travel farther for each kill, which means burning more energy, which means needing more food, and the math is getting tighter. Then there's the tick problem. You've accumulated maybe 60 ticks on your body, clustering around your ears and the soft areas under your arms and near your cloaca, and they itch constantly.
They're also only in perfectly square formations.
Ticks bite reptiles just fine, turns out. You can't reach most of them to scratch, but an oxpecker bird lands on your back one morning while you're resting. It's testing if you're safe, and it starts eating the ticks. You freeze. What is going on? Everything should be scared of you, but within a week, you have 5 oxpecker birds that follow you and clean you regularly. Turns out that you've entered a symbiotic
I like how the T-Rex is confused by the fact that this bird is not immediately horrified of it when it's just too small for you to bother eating. Also, yeah, my understanding is that oxpeckers aren't necessarily as mutualistic as was once believed, and they're actually more parasitic than anything. I'm sure they would eat ticks if given the chance, but like they're probably just more interested in your skin.
relationship with birds from 2026. So maybe you're not alone after all. But 4 male lions who've been recently kicked.
There's not even any mention of how these oxpeckers are actually dinosaurs. Yeah, they drink blood, I'm pretty sure. They like blood. Blood. Like, fuck, dude. That would be almost kind of poetic if, like, you actually focused on that. Where, like, the one companion that this T-Rex gets in the modern day is just another dinosaur. Like, that'd be something, right? If you actually were writing something. But, no, it's just, they're birds.
From their pride and are starving, start trailing you in early dry season. They're desperate and they've figured something out, which is that you make kills they can't. And if they wait until you're done feeding and walk away to rest, they can rush in and grab what's left before you notice.
Okay, so before, the T-Rex was felching off the kills of the lions, and now when the T-Rex is not killing anything, the lions are just like, it's time for us to scavenge off of the T-Rex. The tables have turned. But there's like no acknowledgement that this happened before at all, in the complete opposite. Like, this is what makes this feel so much like AI. Because AI will do this shit constantly where it just forgets things that have already happened. And that's why, like, part of why it repeats itself so often. Because, like, it's working on a limited set of data. And when you continue, like, you know, writing, having it generate a story with that limited data, then, like, it can only end up repeating itself after a certain point, and it doesn't remember that it's already repeating itself, so it's very prone to doing that. So it's awful, and it really fucking feels that way. Like, it's just the script, I want to say. Like, I don't think the thumbnails are AI. I don't think that, like, there might be a couple of images that were AI generated, like a couple of PNGs, but that's about it. And even then, I could totally buy that, like, because Google image search is just so fucking awful, and that's probably where he's getting most of these images, that he accidentally, like, grabbed a couple of AI ones without even realizing it. Yeah, digital dementia. Digital hallucinations! I don't think the voice is AI either. This just seems like a guy. But I'm, like, the more this goes on for, the more I'm convinced that this script is 100% AI. Or at least, like, AI embellished. AI with a little bit of human thrown in there just to throw you off.
Over a month, they steal from you 3 times. You're being robbed by animals that weigh 1/50th of what you do. It's not a threat, but it is annoying. Then the wildebeest migration starts, which is 1.5
The T-Rex is the concept of annoyance.
million animals moving north. And at first, this looks like the best hunting you've ever seen. It's easy prey everywhere, stragglers are falling behind, and juveniles are wandering from their mothers. But
Yeah, that's one of those migration events where crocodiles just absolutely trash migrating ungulates.
there's a problem. You're not the only predator who noticed. Every lion pride in the region converges on the migration. Hyena clans double in size.
That's a striped hyena. As far as I'm aware, striped hyenas are solitary, and they live in, like, northern Africa, I'm pretty sure, like up around the Sahara Desert. So you really should have used the spotted hyena clip, especially that's not an aardwolf, is it? Because aardwolves are insectivores. I'm pretty sure that's a striped hyena, though. If it's an aardwolf, though, that's worse.
Cheetahs appear from nowhere, and you're so big and so visible that when you approach a kill site, every other predator scatters, but the prey also sees you coming from a kilometer away.
Also, yeah, we're still not mentioning Nile crocodiles, which, like, during this migration event, which I feel like is so famous in particular for its crocodile interactions, is so fucking weird.
In the chaos of the migration, you'd think you could sneak up, but there's no cover and your size makes stealth impossible. You catch prey, but not at the rate that you expected. It's maybe 1 kill every 4 days instead of every 2. You gain some weight, maybe 300 kilograms, but it's not the feast that you needed. And then, after 6 weeks, the herds leave your territory, moving into woodlands that you don't follow them into because dense forest means that you can't see threats coming and your size is a liability.
This is such garbage! You mean to fucking tell me that this T-Rex, who in his internal monologue has been bitching and moaning about not having enough fucking tree cover in order to successfully ambush his prey, is not moving into a woodland area fucking filled with prey because there are threats to a 12-meter long, 8-ton giant? And apparently, it turns out that all of these trees, all of this woodland would actually inhibit your movement. So apparently, T-Rex is good for fucking nothing. It can't hunt out in the open. It can't hunt in woodlands. It can't do anything. What's the point? I simulated a T-Rex in modern Africa. Chaos followed. No, it didn't. Chaos did not follow this animal. The only thing chaotic is this goddamn script.
In tight spaces. Suddenly, prey density drops by 80%, and you're back to hunting resident species and the occasional giraffe, and your success rate falls to 30%. You're burning more calories hunting than you are gaining from kills. And this is when you make the tactical error. You're desperate, you're starving, and you try to take a juvenile elephant from a herd in broad daylight. And the matriarch sees you coming from 80 meters out. She doesn't bluff this time. She's done with your shit. She hits you at full speed while you're focused on the calf. That's 5,000 kilograms moving at 25 kilometers per hour. And she catches your left leg. And
not the leg.
Hear the crack. It's not a full break, but it's a fracture in your left femur.
Okay, so it's dead. This time it's actually dead. 100%. Like, it tries to kill an elephant one time, something that's actually within, like, the size range of an animal that a fully grown T-Rex should be hunting. It tries this literally one fucking time, and it's dead. It's dead now. 100% dead.
and you lash out and bite her shoulder, ripping muscle, and she backs off trumpeting, but the damage is done. Your left leg now supports 20.
Also, your bite that when you were an infant instantly snapped the neck of a baby gazelle and crushed the spinal cord of a fucking Cape buffalo. The elephant just shrugged it off, I guess.
50% less weight and every step hurts. Your top speed drops from 35 kilometers per hour to maybe 20. You can't chase anymore. You can barely ambush. For most predators, this is a death sentence, and you don't know if you're gonna pull through.
Yeah, this would be a death sentence, especially because, like, you're already just gassing up how much the T-Rex is struggling hunting when it's at, like, its full capacity, basically. When this T-Rex is in tip-top fucking shape, it apparently can barely hunt a goddamn thing. But it's gonna get a second wind. It's gonna find something. Hell, maybe it finds a fucking elephant graveyard where the elephants just, like, come and die, and then it scavenges off their carcasses, and then it just lives out the rest of its life there.
You try to adapt. Late one night, you wade into river shallows where a pod of hippos is resting.
Oh my
thinking maybe
God.
you can grab a calf from the edges and
We finally have hippos being mentioned. Jesus Christ.
retreat before the adults react, but you're wrong. 3 adult hippos converge on
Wrong.
you within seconds, 2 from the front and 1 from behind. 1 clamps onto your tail, another goes for your already injured left leg, and the third charges directly at your chest.
He's being
You release
mobbed to
whatever
death.
you were trying to grab and thrash backward, snapping at the hippo on your tail. Your jaws connect and it lets go, but the one on your leg has torn muscle and left deep puncture wounds that bleed heavily.
Cool, so he's dead.
You retreat to shore, stumbling. The hippos don't pursue past the waterline. They've made their point. Now you have a wounded tail, a worse injury to your already broken leg, and multiple bite wounds. Nothing is infected, nothing is fatal, but you are accumulating damage faster than you can heal it. You're falling apart in pieces.
Miraculously, he's not infected, and nor does he have the aura of stank flies all around him this time. I guess they only tried that once.
A week later, you find a dead zebra. It was probably disease, and it's been sitting for 2 days, so the meat is starting to turn. But you chase off the hyenas and eat everything that's left. It's maybe 30 kilograms, including the maggots. There is no pride in this. Over the next month, you try to
Stop mentioning the fucking pride thing. Like, dude, you were talking about how fucking easy it is to just, like, snatch away kills from lions earlier. And it's just like, oh man, what a great strategy. And now it's just like, there's no pride in this. Not from killing, taking this kill from these hyenas, taking what's left, including the maggots. Like, dude, you're eating the bones. There's chunky marrow in there. Marrow.
stabilize, but the math doesn't work anymore. You need maybe 100 kilograms of meat per week to maintain your weight, but you're only catching prey once every 2 weeks, and when you do, it's small. It's warthogs again from when you were a child, or juvenile antelope that
He's still chasing down warthogs that can outrun lions. Fuck.
give you 20 to 30 kilograms at most. You're losing weight at
This is an 8-ton animal that is hunting warthogs. What do you think warthogs are? What do you think they are? I'm convinced you don't know.
40 kilograms per week. At 4,500 kilograms, you can afford to lose maybe 1,000 before vital systems start shutting down. So that gives you 6 months, and you've made it 4 so far. The wildebeest migration returns in month 3, and you follow them north because you have to, limping along behind herds that can travel 40 kilometers per day while you can barely manage 15. You fall behind, the herds get farther ahead, and you keep walking anyway because stopping means dying faster. On day 112 after the leg injury, you're near a river crossing where wildebeests are funneling through a narrow channel. There are hundreds of them churning up the water, and you see your chance. A juvenile wildebeest at the back of the
Watch him
herd.
get
It's
mobbed
maybe
by crocodiles
150
now.
kilograms. It's struggling in the current, so you wade in. The water is deeper than you expected. It's past your chest, and the current is strong. You lunge for the wildebeest, and your jaws close on its hind.
He is the crocodile. The fucking Paporex, because of course it is, because no one can ever avoid this fucking thing. It's everywhere. The Paporex is the crocodile. He has evolved to fill a niche that already fucking is filled. Ah!
Borders, but your broken leg can't find purchase in the mud below, and the current pulls. You try to compensate with your right leg, but it's not enough, and the wildebeest's thrashing pulls you off your balance.
The thrashing of the okay. We get like a size comparison with a human here. Okay, you know, The wildebeest. Wildebeest, right? You know, about the size of like how tall a guy is. About man height. The thrashing of the wildebeest is throwing you off balance, huh? 12 meters long, 8 tons. Dude, you should be able to lift this thing off the ground effortlessly. You should be able to lift this polar bear off the ground effortlessly. This is not a problem for you. Okay? There's just no way. Like, how are the measurements always so fucked up? It's just, do we have, yeah, we have mixed up measurements already. Yeah, the fucking, this wildebeest is made of fucking tungsten. But for some reason, this is seeming like, I don't know, maybe a...
This is just a more verbose version of the Top Man 2.0 video where every African megafauna would push T-Rex's shit in. Mammals are so awesome, bro.
Man, mammals fucking rule. They're way better than these dumb, stinky lizards.
You go under. You've crossed rivers before. You can swim, but you're weak and the leg won't kick right. And when you try to surface, your head breaks water for only a second before the current pulls you back down. You crash. Your lungs are burning.
What the fuck? Is this like the concept art? It is, right? It's not like there's literally the exact same image that was just on screen a couple seconds ago, but run through an AI filter. I'm pretty sure that's the concept art. I'm pretty sure.
Crash. Your lungs are burning. The wildebeest is gone, and you're just trying to reach air. But the current is...
I'm glad that wildebeest apparently survived the bite of a full-grown T-Rex.
Pushing you downstream, and your legs are turning mud and water and nothing solid. You surface once more, maybe 50 meters downstream, and you see the bank. It's 10 meters away. You try to swim towards it, but you're so tired. And the current is faster here where the river narrows. And your left leg is useless weight, and your right leg isn't enough. And you go under again, but this time, you don't come back up. The ecosystem was patient with you for 4 years. It let you try.
Is he dead?
And scavenge and steal and adapt and survive in a lost world that was never
built.
The
T-Rex died to a wildebeest. He died to a fucking wildebeest kill. He's dead. Man, T-Rex fucking sucks. Oh my god, that is the worst. He's fucking dead. He tried to kill something that a full-grown T-Rex could kill one time and got blown the fuck out so hard that he drowned trying to kill a wildebeest. Jack Horner would be so fucking proud. My god, he couldn't have come up with this himself. You know what? You're right. You're right. He, at the end of the day, he died because he didn't have enough oxygen. What can you do? The T-Rex was weak and easily extinctable.
But patient is not the same as welcoming. The Serengeti has a niche for lions and hyenas and elephants and crocodiles. But it
oh, and crocodiles? Like the ones that weren't mentioned once in this entire fucking video?
Had no niche for a Cretaceous apex predator running on thin air in a body too heavy for legs that never were able to heal right. Your body washes up 3 kilometers downstream 2 days later. Crocodiles eat most of it within a week. Hyenas crack the bones, vultures strip what's left, and within a month, there's nothing but fragments buried in silt. The ecosystem moves on, because it was always going to move on. You were 66 million years late, and every single day you survived, the world was making an exception it didn't have to make. And on day 112 of those 6 months that you needed to last, it stopped making exceptions. If you enjoyed watching this video, make sure
it stopped making exceptions because the video had gone on for long enough and I had got enough ad revenue. Dear God. Also, there's like and subscribe. Cool. That's another bingo. Fuck me. Yeah, he had plot armor for so much of the video, and then at the end, he just died of plot poison. When he should have been basically unstoppable, he just kept making up excuses for like, no, nuh-uh. And again, chaos ensued, and it was mostly just animals kind of avoided him. Animals avoided him, and then he died in a really stupid way. What are the comments saying? You last 4 years. The humble poacher within the first 3 months. You walk up to the waterhole like a dumbass and immediately get grabbed by a croc. Ends video. Wow. These comments are fucking smart. Ooh, this one's fucking brutal. Advertised potentially complex population simulation with ecological models. Looks inside. Roleplay narration. Genuine applause. Not sarcastic Jack Horner applause. Genuine applause. You fucking nailed it on the head. I mean, you're trying to be polite about it. Like, I'm not trying to imply the video is bad. I am. Or AI. I am. Or not worth watching. I am. It's just simply the title implies a simulation. A plethora of issues with this video. Yeah. You could say that. Oh no, it's Jack Horner. No, Steel Kills? No. Fuck off. I hate you now, actually. Yeah, not a simulation. Feels more like a narrative roleplay. No, oh god. David Kep, I'm gonna beat you to death with my bare fucking hands. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna actually do it in real ass life. That was one of the most agonizing things we've ever watched. They're not sims. They're not simulations. It's roleplay. That's all it is. It's just roleplay. Yeah, that was so long. We spent so fucking long on this. I am so sorry.